Virgin Voyages began cruise operations in 2021, and already they're planning on basing their newest ship, Resilient Lady, in Melbourne from December 2023. With innovative features, typical Virgin flair, and attention to detail, I thought it was the perfect time to learn a little bit more about the product that we're going to very soon see down under. I had a great chat with Sharon Hando, the National Sales Manager for Travel the World, who represent Virgin Voyages in Australia, and we discussed everything that you need to know. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. All right, so I have with me Shaz, and Shaz is the National Sales Manager from Travel the World, and they represent Virgin Voyages here in Australia. And today we're going to discuss a lot about Virgin Voyages and what they're going to be bringing to the Australian market for the first time. So Shaz, welcome to the channel.
Great. Thank you so much for having me, Adrian. It's just a pleasure to be here, and I'm so excited to talk about Virgin Voyages.
Thank you. Well, we're very excited. I know that I am personally. When I first heard that Virgin Voyages were bringing Resilient Lady down to Australia, I was extremely excited. And I, for one, can't wait until they get here at the end of next year. I believe it's around December 2023.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, and I have to tell you, the rest of Australia was very excited. It went off like a frog in a sock. Everyone was so interested, so excited. And the phones just started ringing, and we were like, wow, 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 wow.
Well, it was a big deal. I think having Australia so used to either having an older kind of ship base from other companies, and it's only been more recently that we're seeing newer ships coming down under. So to have a cruise line that effectively began operations in 2021, obviously due to the pandemic, coming down within 2 years of starting is pretty exciting.
We'd like to say we really only started this year, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
We were due to launch on the 1st of April 2020. Not the ideal time to start and launch a cruise line, I have to say, but we took the time, and we used the time very wisely to make sure that we dotted every I, crossed every T, and made sure everything was absolutely perfect for our sailors for when they get on board, to ensure they have a really, truly epic experience.
And obviously, we know that Resilient Lady will not be based in Sydney. She will be based in Melbourne. So
sorry about that. As a Sydney guy, I know you're disappointed.
Just a little bit, but that's fine. You know, it's a short flight. We can all get there. Not a problem. What would you say, compared to other major cruise lines, what would you say Virgin Voyages' points of difference are? What makes it so special?
There's quite a few, actually. And I think, first of all, I would say it's the dining experience on board. There's 20 different eateries that are all included in the voyage fare. So there's no extra for the clients to pay, our sailors to pay when they get on board. But it really is an amazing dining experience. With our colleagues that have all been on board as well, they all come back and rave about the food experience. There's Korean barbecue, for example, on board. Fancy having that on the ship. That's amazing. Yeah. There's fine dining, steak, seafood. There's vegetarian forward restaurants where you can go to the vegetarian restaurant and order a little naughty side. There's no buffets at all. Everything is cooked fresh to order. The moment you order it, they'll go away and cook it. So you might go to the taco stand. We have an area called the Galley where there's a lot of different eateries. Think of it as a very upmarket food hall, like with lots of food vans, that sort of experience. And so you go here in Queensland, we have Eat Street. So it's kind of like an Eat Street, but everything's cooked very fresh the moment you order it. Nothing's been sitting there waiting for you. And then we have incredible entertainment. That is not entertainment that's been watered down from a Broadway show, but rather it's entertainment that has been designed specifically for the cruise line, that happens throughout the whole ship. It's not just like you going and having dinner in a main dining hall, which we don't have those main dining halls at all. We've only got all the different restaurants. And then where there's always a bar in all of those restaurants as well, I should point out. And then you go off to the different areas of the ship where there's lots of entertainment happening throughout. So there are a couple of the points of differences. It is designed like a large super yacht. That's the feel that you have on board. So it's still a really intimate experience, even though the ship caters for just over 2,500 passengers. It does have some inside cabins for our solo guests. So there's definitely solo cabins. There are a couple of insides, but more over 85% of the cabins are all outside. And 96% are outside. 85% of them actually have balconies, which we call sea terraces. And it's got the vernacular of Virgin. You know how it's kind of a bit funky and a lot of really fun words. Another thing that we took a lot of time in creating this cruise line. When we first started, we got a lot of people together and we had all of these focus groups and asked them what they did and didn't like about cruising. And one of the things was they didn't like to be nickel and dime when they got on board, and they didn't like to be felt like a captured audience and having huge drink prices being charged. Back to the old days when I first started cruising, many years ago, it used to be all duty-free on board. So the drinking part of it was a lot less expensive. So they've really just made it in line with what you would pay in a hotel in Australia, for example. What you'd expect to pay is what you'll pay on board. It's not going to be any more than that. We don't have a drinks package, but rather we have a bar tab. Yep. So if you can imagine going to a local bar that your sailors will go to, your friends will go to, and they'll put their credit card behind the bar and they run a tab. It's kind of like that. So you can pre-purchase a bar tab in increments of $300. And for every $300, Virgin will also give you an extra $50 on them. And so that $300 is your bar tab, and you can buy drinks for your friends. You can just use it for yourself. It can be for everyone in your cabin, whatever. The other things as well, we include all the essential beverages. So your sparkling water, still water, juices, teas, drip coffee, all of that's included. It's also group fitness, group workouts are all included. And now you would think, I'm not going to go on holidays and exercise. I'll do that when I come back, or do that before I go. But it's kind of fun and it's really funky. So they've got like an 80s VHS video workout. So you go in there, you got to take your Lycra, you got to take everything, and you go, and it's super, super fun. All those songs from the 80s, you don't even feel like you're exercising. So because it's just an absolute hoot.
That sounds like fun.
Yes, lots and lots of fun. It's one of the things I think, well, I'm planned for that. I've got my Lycra and I've got my fluoro colours and I want to go and fit in and make sure I have a great time. But we'll also include Wi-Fi. We think the ships are beautiful and we want people to post about it. Share it on Instagram, share it on your Facebook pages. So we have that for included Wi-Fi as well as that. We don't have gratuities. We don't put gratuities on for our guests. Now, as Australians, we're not used to paying gratuities anyway. We're not big on the tipping, so it's not just part of our mantra. So it's really refreshing to know that you don't have to avoid your cabin steward on the last day on a cruise, where they're sort of hanging around waiting for you to pass over that white envelope. So you don't have to worry about that because it's all included in the voyage fare, in that we pay our crew a really, really fair wage. And the crew are from all over the world. They're encouraged to show off their tattoos if they have tattoos. They're encouraged to share their personality. They've been employed as kind of part of the entertainment of the ship. They are Virgin Voyages, so they interact with the guests. They're allowed to eat in the food hall as well, in the galley, like the guests can. So there's a lot of fun going on, and they're really part of the whole experience.
That's excellent. So it sounds, like such a different approach to cruising than what we're used to seeing in the major other cruise lines that are around the world and around Australia. Well, one of my favorite things about the Virgin brand has always been that sense of difference, but it's always been underpinned by service. Whenever I've flown with Virgin Australia, as an example, especially internationally, the service has always been fantastic. And I think that's always come hand in hand with the Virgin experience. But you are also always looking for that element of difference, something that's a little bit unique or something that you wouldn't see somewhere else.
I like that. That's true. There's something that Richard Branson says. He says life is a hell of a lot more fun if you say yes rather than no. So, for him being involved, and he wanted to start a cruise line when he was in his 20s. Like now he's in his 70s and he's finally done it. He just wanted to make sure, he said, if you treat your staff well, all of that will just flow through to the guest experience anyway. So you start at that one level and then everything else will be perfect. And
Yeah.
it truly, truly is.
Speaking of Richard, I do know of one feature on board that is for guests after perhaps a little bit more of an exclusive experience, and part of that is called Richard's Rooftop, I believe.
Yes,
So
that's
can you tell
correct.
us a bit about that?
Absolutely. For our guests that want to have a slightly more special experience, they can book into our Rockstar quarters. These are the suites on board that are very aptly named. There's like the posh suite, there's the massive suite. So that's the biggest suite on board. There's the brilliant suite, there's the cheeky corner suite, all these funky names. And with them comes some other extras for our sailors, which includes a priority check-in area. They've got their beverages included, but also while staying in those suites, they have access to Richard's Rooftop. And Richard's Rooftop is just a large area that is just a little bit more exclusive for those guests that has access to the sun and the sea, and just so they can be away from everybody else. But, you know, the suites are the ones that sell first. They really are what people are going, oh, yeah, I want to book into this cheeky corner suite or the posh suite or the massive suite. In the massive suite, got a guitar room in there. So they've got guitars hanging on the walls. The shopping precinct on board our beautiful lady ships is really quite special as well, with some great brands that are well represented on board. But in all of the cabins, they have like an iPad that runs the cabin. We have a wristband, which is your access to everything. So that's what you would wear on board. And it's made out of recycled plastic, because we were all about sustainability and we don't have any single-use plastic on board or anything like that. So it really is looking after the environment. Things that we bring on board, we can trace it all the way back. Like our coffee is traced back to the bean, ensured that we're really looking after the guests. On all of our balconies, our sea terraces, we have red hammocks that are individually made from a small village that the last person who actually stitches their name into it. So it's all about giving back to different communities as well. But with our wearables, so you have the wearable, and that will, as you're approaching your cabin door will automatically unlock. Your lighting will change to reflect whatever time of the day it is. So if it's night times, the curtains are closed, the mood lighting's down there. But then you also have this tablet in your room that you can have like funky music playing, or you can have different mood lighting. You can have some alone time lighting. And so it's really all controlled by that. You do have access to room service, all ordered via the app, all through the tablet. And that room service actually comes, we call it Ship Eats. It comes in really unique packaging that is all closed up, but they won't knock on your door and say room service is here. It's just, they'll send you a little message on the app on your tablet and say your room service has been delivered. And so it's not to disturb you. So it's just keeping everything really about you. You're the person who needs to be happy as the guest on board, and it just doesn't want to intrude on your experience. One of the other really funky things that I think in the cabins is when you go into a normal cabin, you've got a bed and it's always a bed. But what we have done is we've designed the beds to convert into a lounge. So it's important you note it's a bed first, but it converts during the day into a lounge if you want it to. So your cabin's crew can change it for you, giving you much more room in your cabin. Because, you know, sometimes you might be traveling with friends. Yeah, come on, let's go and meet in my cabin. And everyone has to sit on your bed, which is never fun. So that way it's just got a lounge. And after you leave to go out for dinner that night, then they can change that for you, like change it back into a bed for you. So that's really cool. On your app that you've got, so you do need a smartphone, but on your app, you can make your restaurant reservations. You can join a virtual queue. You can say, yeah, I want to go to Pink Agave tonight. They say, well, it might be booked out, so you just join a queue. They'll message you and say, yep, we've got a table for you now, and they'll hold it for 15 minutes. So you can, and you don't even have to leave the place that you're at. So it's really thinking forward, definitely forward thinking.
Yeah, that's excellent. It sounds like it's really just putting the sailor at the center of the experience.
Everyone wants a different experience too, don't they? Not everyone wants to do the same thing. We don't have a cruise director on board, but rather we have a happenings cast.
That's excellent. And I know that one of the biggest features or selling points of Virgin, as much as we all love our kids, or in my case, nephew and nieces, sometimes it's fun to be away from them. And Virgin Voyages is exclusively for adults only of 18 and over. Is that right?
Oh my gosh, isn't that just it's just so fantastic. And yes, so you're absolutely correct. It's for 18 plus. I think we're finding the average age sort of coming around that 48 to 50. Now, a lot of cruise lines will say their average age is that, but they're also counting the kids. So we're from 18 plus, that's working out the average, but it's for the young at heart. So like I know my mum would have a great time on Virgin because she's fun. She likes to get up and dance and have a great experience. This way you don't feel guilty about leaving your own kids at home to go and have a selfish holiday with your partner or friends because you see all these other kids running around thinking, oh, maybe I should have brought the kids. Oh, God. This way you don't have to. It's great. Sorry, kids, you can't come. Not allowed. Even Richard's own grandchildren are not allowed on the ship to even have a look at it. It is strictly 18 plus. We do say if they're 18-year-olds travelling together, we do ask for an over 21 to be with them. Unless they're both married, then they can show that evidence and that's fine. Yeah, so there's a few little rules around it, but not very much.
One of the features of the app that I recall reading about is that you can shake your phone to have a certain something delivered to wherever you are.
That's fantastic, isn't it? So I've got my phone here, and if I was on Virgin and I just shook it like that, I'd get a pop-up to say, would you like a bottle of Moet delivered to wherever you are on ship? I'm like, oh, yes, please. There is a cost. It is $95 US, but it's not just the Moet. It's about, you don't have to get up you have a beautiful bottle of Moet, which is great, but it comes in a beautiful bag. So it's nicely iced. It's got a couple of glasses. You can carry it around with you, show the fact that you've shook for champagne and off you go and take it anywhere that you want to go. So it's really, really cool. It's definitely something that my friends and I will be doing.
And Virgin obviously is coming to Australia, but I assume they will be operating under the US dollars on board.
Correct. Yes, that is US dollars on board. Yeah, but it's all sold in Australian dollars. So all the pricing that you see, if anybody goes onto a website and has a look, we certainly encourage everybody to book through our Australian travel agency network. It's very, very reasonably priced as well. So you can do a 7-night cruise ex-Barcelona this year for just over $2,000 per person. Well, you're sort of looking at about $350 a night, and that's in a balcony cabin, I might add. That's not an inside, so that's a nice balcony cabin, which is what I recommend to people when they go cruising. It's nice to see the outside. Depends how much time you spend in your cabin, of course, but these cabins are pretty nice with nice roomy rain showers as well, so you might want to spend a bit of time in there and the gorgeous suites.
Well, having the balcony room that can convert into a space with a living area, I think is fantastic because so many of these rooms, as you said, if you invite people over, then you're really stuck sitting on the bed. You want to spend some time in the cabin, especially if you have a balcony or a sea terrace. You want to be able to take advantage of the space. So that's really just a very innovative idea on how to approach that.
And don't forget those beautiful red hammocks on the balcony as well, on the terraces. I was talking to a colleague the other day, and she's only quite small, and she said, I just thought I wouldn't use it, but I have to tell you, I used it every single day. It was so easy to get in and out of. Her partner's a lot bigger, so whether you're little or tall, and it was super, super comfortable. Every single day she was in there.
I can't wait to try it out. Are there any other future plans beyond 2023, 2024 for Virgin Voyages in our market that you know of or can you speak of?
I can say that it's not going to be a one season only in Australia. So I can't tell you exactly what the itineraries will be, but I can definitely tell you that we are here and committed to this market for the long haul. Yes, we've got some great destinations. So remember, there is currently 4 lady ships. We just launched the name of our 4th ship, which is Brilliant Lady. Isn't that amazing? Our 3rd ship, Resilient Lady, really embodies the resilience that we've all had to show over the last couple of years. And that's the one that will be home porting in Melbourne, and especially those Victorians that spent so long in lockdown. I just think it's a beautiful reward for what everyone's gone through, but particularly the Victorians. We have Valiant Lady cruising out of Barcelona on 7-night itineraries. And you can do back-to-back because there's 3 different itineraries that are all unique. The one common denominator is that they all overnight in Ibiza. So having that fun in Ibiza, I haven't been back to Ibiza since the late 80s. And it was lots of fun then. And I know it's still lots of fun now, but it's also beautiful as a great cultural destination. But that's great. And then we have Scarlet Lady out of our own port in Miami. And where we go and visit the island of Bimini, where we've built a beach club. So that's the one common denominator on all of our itineraries there, where you can also do back-to-backs. And Bimini, what we've done, rather than buying our own private island, we wanted to invest in an already existing island where there's a lot of culture. We've got the locals there that we want to support and give work to. So we built this beautiful beach club. Everything that happens on board the ship, all of your beverage packages, everything like that, the food that's included is also included at the beach club. So you're not having to be stung twice to just go to the beach club. But there we have bonfires after dark, beautiful pools. We have DJs that are just rocking to the music. And speaking of music, one of the things that a colleague of mine said just only a couple of days ago, his experience was, he said he wants the playlist that they play on board the ship, because the vibe from the moment you get on board in all of the different areas was sensational. And the music's not played super loud or it's not too quiet. It's really at that right noise level, but it's really fun. It immediately puts a smile on your face and you think, wow, I'm on holidays. This is great.
That's excellent to hear, because one of my favorite things about building an ambience, especially on a holiday, is music. And in some cases, I've been places where there's no music or it's the wrong type of music.
It's that personal choice. So I think they're really catering for all different types, and they really want to make sure that it's an epic experience. I know I've used the word before, but that's truly what it's about, is that they want you to walk away just going, oh my God, that was the best holiday ever. I just can't wait to come back. And you can't do everything in 7 days. There's so much to do, so much to experience, so many different places to eat, so many fun things that you'll be giggling and laughing. I mean, the ice cream shop's called Lick Me Till Ice Cream. I mean, it's just funny. I just love it.
I love it too. If there was ever any doubt that it's an adult cruise line.
How nice that we don't have to cater for the kids. That's right. We don't have to dull it down in any way. We can just keep it as that adult humour, adult entertainment throughout.
Lastly, what do you think an Australian might most be excited to try on board Virgin Voyages?
Oh, I think they're going to be blown away by the food. I really think so. One of the restaurants we have on board is called the Test Kitchen, and where they'll give you, say, there might be one item and then they'll build a meal around it. They're smaller meals, but it's just a sensational experience for the palate. It's just, wow, great food. They're having the upscale Mexican restaurants that vegetarians being catered for, or it's easy to cater for our gluten-frees and our celiacs, and everybody else is well catered for and looked after. And I think the Australians are going to love the fact that there's a bar in every restaurant.
Yeah, I think you're right there.
I think that suits our market. But what I would say is get on board, experience it yourself. It's epic.
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining me today, Shaz. I enjoyed the chat very much, and I can't wait to see Virgin Voyages finally arrive down under next year.
Oh, me too. Thanks so much, Adrian.
I hope you enjoyed my chat with Sharon. I'm definitely excited to see Virgin Voyages come down under. I know that I'll be trying them out, if not sooner, then definitely when they are based in Melbourne. Let me know in the comments, what's your favorite feature about Virgin Voyages, or what are you most looking forward to experiencing on them? If you are looking to book a cruise on Virgin Voyages or any other cruise line, you can head to my website, thecruiseandtravelguide.com.au. And as always, you can give me a follow on Facebook and Instagram at The Cruise and Travel Guide. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.